In the film Liminals, we witness the simulation of this impossible human condition, of this faceless, wordless entity that we are following through this fiction. Pierre is putting a set of conditions for this emergence of otherness by superposing thoughts with this different set of speculation of this character being inexistent. The fact that this character is a law, appearing as a membrane, unseparated with its environment, allows us to explore different states, which is a passage between these states, which is neither alive nor dead, human or non-human, fictional or factual. Liminals really introduce this idea of contradiction, of these transitory states, from which something unthought of can emerge, which Pierre calls imaginary soulscape. By opening up the realm of possibilities beyond this human comprehension, it allows to experience ourselves as stranger, which is an idea that Pierre has been unfolding since a long time. The decentering of the self that we are talking about has been present in most of Pierre's work since more than 20 years, starting with Halle in 1999, this anime character that Philippe Pareno and Pierre Huyghe has been acquiring and allows other artists to inhabit it over the time of the years by building a collective imagination through these different authors. Each author giving life to this character and constructing her existence. In 2 years after, the artist will abandon the right to Halle, and the character finally will vanish, giving back the authorship to herself. With Halle and other work that come after, even more recently with the work that Pierre unfolded in Venice in his exhibition called Liminal, without S, there is this idea to reduce intentionality and control, to give place to this otherness and acknowledge our chimerical construction, to allow that. The Host on the Clouds is an experiment that exists between 2009 and 2010, unfold over the course of a full year. You have a group of people that are circulating in the museum and are exposed to external influences that could be social, political, scientific, through spiritual rituals, different forms of exhibition, fiction, beliefs, and culture. All this life situation generated by these influences appears like simultaneously. We assist for the first time maybe in this work of this idea of the world made out of world with different narrative coexisting that Pierre affect a set of operation that will self-generated processes that will emerge from this situation operation. And new narrative will grow out of it, new configuration that are unpredictable without this control and this intentionality. There is also the will of Pierre to introduce an animated animal again, the fiction, into the reality that will affect the reality in real time. So you always have in Pierre's work this loop between the fiction, reality, fiction that will change condition in both dimensions, which creates this perplexity and this moment of uncertainty that we face into the work. Another character that has been crossing Pierre's work, again linked to the mask being also what we all put in front of us to escape this reality. There is this film called Human Mask that Pierre filmed in 2014, in which you have a monkey that is wearing a face, a mask of a young girl, in which this monkey will repeat over and over the same gesture like an automaton, like if it has been trained reproducing the human condition. Again, we have a shift between different states, which goes between instruction and instinct, or the necessary and the accidental. It's the residual. By this character, we face a residual image of the human presence that we can also identify to this alien gaze. Umwelt is another moment in Pierre's work where he explored this idea of co-production of imagination between a machine and the human. So the output images that come from the brain activity that has been scanned through this computer interface bring us into a superposition of ideas, of images that ourselves as a viewer, as an observer, bring us into this different state of observation, of wondering what are we looking at. So we have, I think, similarities as we observe Umwelt and Liminals into our projection into other worlds, and how do we build ourselves this reality out of this fiction and images. In Umwelt, the images that are generated are also modifying through the environment in which they are. And so this idea of the environment affecting or modifying the behavior of a system, a digital world, is something that has been really present also in the exhibition that Pierre did 2 years ago in Venice, where he did present two new work that explore the ideas that I think we are seeing here in Berghain, which is this idea of this otherness, of this consciousness of the self through this character. In the exhibition in Venice 2 years ago, we start seeing appearing this figure without face. This figure without face were driven by extradiegetic elements that were changing, affecting behavior by a learning and growing process. This allows to explore fictional world, but also by the constraint of the technical parameters. Pierre wanted to unfold this fictional world into a more vast exploration or discovery, or we can call it a journey. This is when, for the specific commission at Berghain with Light Art Space, Pierre wanted to unfold the possibilities of the life of this creature from different states, from the birth of an idea, which would be this character, to different states of emotion, life, or again, states, which we could identify ourselves. Through the work Liminals, Pierre also explore quantum theories of this idea of superposition of state that will collapse into one single state. And that allows also, I think, a bigger metaphysical, poetical dimension to this work of Liminals. I think what is really at the core of the work of Liminals, it's how Pierre, by imagining condition, allows many possibilities to exist at once, where every moment could be otherwise, what it could have been, what it could be. For example, in Variance, a work that he did in 2022 in Norway, it contaminated the constitution of the reality itself with other possible model, which we have a scan world, which is the existing world as we know it on an island surrounded by water. And then this scan world has been unfolded in a digital world where the actual world were affecting this digital world. And in return, by creating entities into generative entities into this digital world, they were brought again into the site in order to modify the site. So there is really this passage between realities and fiction and how both alters each other. All the work that we've been talking are somehow altering our perception of reality and disturb our own Welten. Rather, that is by the fiction, the psychotropic drugs, the hypnosis, the meditative practice, or even certain technologies, like these are all various attempts to decorate the subject and the world. In the film Kamata that Pierre has been showing 2 years ago, we do witness another enigmatic world, which is a ritual that unfolds into an Iberian skeleton that Pierre discovered in the desert of Atacama a few years before. We here assist again it's in a transitional state between a disappeared figure and an inexistence. What could be the beginning of an existence, of a myth, of a narrative. This idea of the myth is something interesting to Pierre, to what we can relate to. Myths are the place of imagination. They are a game of imagination for other world and for possibilities. Liminals, as schemata, are both the beginning of new mythology that we could call like modern myth, that Pierre is unfolding here. That was really the research that Pierre has been doing while exploring the work schemata, how an image is formed for the passage between these two realities. It's somehow an idea of this inexistent being. It's the ineffability of the existence. Rather, it comes from different cosmogonies or mythology, science fiction, or occult literature. With this work, Pierre creates a realm in which all possibilities can exist at once as it collapses into a single reality. Liminals follow the possibilities of these fallen realities that are going through this human-like figure with a void running through the head.